right. Once again, it's the 1878 casuals, and you know what it is. Terrace Cult, Moo Mia, they got our backs. So we had a video yesterday, got another video today because guess what, folks? Christmas came early. It came early this year. And so the big news out today is it went the way we thought it was going to go. Ronaldo's been sacked officially. We've torn the contract up and thrown it out the window. And also, it's been announced that the bastards, the Glazers, they're ready to sell.
God,
They're ready to sell.
Beautiful. That's the best fucking headline I've heard since we signed fucking Rooney and shit. Like,
so, go ahead.
No,
keep going. You're excited. I love it.
No, I mean, it's obviously what we've all been waiting for 17 years. Even before their takeover of the club was sorted, we were like, can't wait for them to leave. And you know, I'd like to think that, you know, ultimately the protests, like all these little things that we were doing, like, you know, getting Glazers out trending on all the social medias, all the fucking brilliant warriors that broke into Old Trafford last year and all the protests outside the grounds, getting the Liverpool game canceled, green and gold scarves, Glazers out signs wherever they went. I mean, after, you know, sponsorships saying, you know what, we might cut out early, like Team Viewer the other day saying that they're not sure if they want to renew the sponsorship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're up for review.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, it seems to be that all these little things have stacked up ultimately to something massive. And obviously we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but you also wonder if, you know, last week or whenever it was, I think we were talking about it at Willie O'Brien's Bandito about how Ratcliffe is effectively saying, hey, I'm not interested in buying United anymore. If that was just kind of like, and we were talking about, is that some sort of cheeky little bluff? Is he really not interested, or is he interested but saying he's not, so the Glazers, you know, that clock starts ticking and the Glazers are like, well, we need to figure something out quick then. So you wonder if that has something to do with it. I mean, I think it's ultimately, we all know that as long as they were making money, they weren't going to sell, and they probably are still making money, but, you know, they realize that any sort of attempt at reviving the Super League is just going to be met with the same sort of protests that happened the first time they announced it. So you got to wonder, you know, what's going on behind the scenes that's making them say, you know what, this is no longer worth it. Or, you know, they know how hated they are. They know that no single proper United fan wants them there. And that's got to, I mean, fucking hell, 17 years of just pelting them with fucking get out of our club, you know. But I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So all I know is I'm fucking proper gassed for it. And the sooner they get out, the better. So hopefully it happens. And hopefully, you know, somebody like Sir Jim Ratcliffe or something, who's a proper United fan, who's not in it for the money, who wants to see the club grow and win titles and compete for the honors on the world stage and stuff. You hope that we get that type of owner. And Ratcliffe seems like he's that guy. But, you know, then we have the Rothschild company is helping the Glazers with this whole transaction, from what I've heard. And we know the Rothschilds, they fucking run the world. You know, they got money pumping through their veins, and that's their ultimate end goal. So, I mean, it's also kind of scary in a way, because we don't know, we could end up in worse hands. You really just kind of don't know. So
I want to touch on two things you said there, Patch. First was, the fan involvement. I think that part is very empowering for fans. Like, the protest, even on the acquisition, right? There was protests on that. It's been protests throughout the years, not just when we're playing bad, not just when things are going bad, but it's been throughout, right? So that's
famously David Beckham with the scarf when we played Milan.
Right. So that's something very empowering for fans. So, you know, I want to give credit where credit is due, you know, to all the fans worldwide. You know, the club is ours. You know, someone told me, you know, whether you're from Failsworth or Salford or, you know, Japan or LA or China, you know, the club is ours. And, you know, the protests have been worldwide. So I think that's a very good point you're making. The second thing is, and I'll throw this to Face after, is, you know, what's the ideal ownership, and realistically, you know, how do we see this going to go? Do we think it's going to be a, you know, conglomerate, investment bankers? Do we think Sir Jim Ratcliffe is still in for it? What you saying, Face?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Today was a whirlwind. I don't know. I mean, I think Mr. Radcliffe would be ideal. I don't think he was out of it though. I just think he's a smart businessman who wasn't going to put himself in a bad situation. Because, you know, the price tag they put on it was like 10 billion. It was crazy. But, you know, you guys all said it right. It's the fan interest. I think shutting down the Super League was massive. I mean, I think that it has a lot to do with even Liverpool's people pulling out too, because it's like they were all banking on that. And the supporters did it. I mean, they led the way. They stayed on it. You know, from people getting their posters pulled away from matches. It was just resilience that was just very admirable. As it makes me proud to be a supporter of this club and be part of this family, because it means so much to us. And you know, it's just a proud moment. You know, we took down the establishment in a way, and I'm just happy that you know they're leaving, because you know they weren't football people, and we want football people. You said what kind of owner? Ideal owner? I want football people. I want someone who loves the club, someone who's going to come to the ground, someone's going to talk to the players, someone's going to show interest. That's all we want. And that word of, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, we want to Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds, pretty much. You know, somebody who's got passion for the city and the club, and is going to go out and have a pint with the supporters, and is gonna actually fucking attend the matches, home and away. And I think ultimately, to touch on your point earlier, Casey, we ultimately showed in a way that the club is not owned by the owners; it's owned by the fans. And if enough fans rise up and say, this ain't fucking happening, guess what, Glazers, it's not going to happen. And the taking down the Super League, like you were saying, Casey, took down the establishment kind of in a way, was one of the proud. I mean, I know we're all in the States here. We obviously weren't boots on the ground over there, but you know, we're doing what we can from this side of the pond, and you know, it was a proud moment for sure.
Yeah, a very big moment.
Sinatra, what do you think the timeline is going to be? What do you see like a realistic timeline? Because we all want it like right now, like just do them out.
First of all, it's interesting for me the timing of it all, right? Because Patch was saying we're in the 17th year of their regime, and it's interesting that now, you know, more than any other year, the heat's been turned up, right? The media, it's gotten a lot more attention than it's ever gotten in years past. You know, they felt comfortable as owners for so many years because they looked as the fans in Manchester, in England, the match day going fans, as what they call them, the legacy fans or whatever, and could be arsed about it. And so they showed them, hey, you better be arsed about it. And so, like you guys are saying, it's a powerful message, but I don't think it's going to be overnight. But I do think they're further along in this than we realize. And I think the tough thing is, I think they're going to hold out for the maximum amount of money they can get, because we've got to remember this has been the free ATM for, you know, many, many years for them. And, you know, when you sell off, that's it. There's no, you know, going back. And, you know, there's always the buyer's remorse. There's always seller's remorse. And so, you know, they're going to want a certain number that makes them feel comfortable that they're not just pulling 11, 30 million out of the club whenever they want. And so I think I think it was important that what Webby O'Neill had reported on earlier, that, there was a show of funds from the conglomerate. There's a show of funds from Ratcliffe. I see it being a sort of a mix like that. And I think my guess is by the first of the year, we know more. I don't say there's a deal done, but I think before the summer. That's how I see it.
Yeah, well, and it also makes you wonder if they're going to sell. That means we may not be spending any money in January.
Well,
they said that they probably would spend to make the value go up.
Yeah,
we got that loose Cristiano money now floating around.
Right.
Yeah, you got to think they want to make it all nice and shiny. Just like when you sell your house, you put the nice furniture in it, you redecorate, make it look nice and shiny.
Clean up all the blood stains.
Yeah, you clean up the blood stains.
Their
you
assets,
recalk it.
Their assets are players, right? And the value of players. So,
and the value of the players. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Glazers don't immediately go for 100% sell off. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they let like 45% go now and just kind of chunk it off, because I feel like they're also looking for their next Manchester United, in terms of investment, right? Because this has been glorious for them. Not only are they pulling money out whenever they want, they can write us off, whenever they're looking for a loan. What better collateral than Manchester United Football Club, LLC? So I don't think it's going to be right away, but I definitely think we'll know more by the first of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to focus on what we know already and what our feelings are about it. And like you said, we can't, we only know what we know. And it's what it is so far is really, really good news and really promising.
I'm telling you this, I'm waiting on Bucket and Darren Webb and Kieran. They're the ones that are going to drop this news. So, be on the lookout, Webby O'Neill channel.
Yeah. Shout
Great
out to the lads over there.
Plug, huh?
Yeah. Plug in the Webby O'Neill channel.
It's amazing what went down today, though.
All right, here's my question for everybody. Do you read into it that the Ronaldo situation and the Glazer situation is announced the same day? I mean, is there a correlation there, or is it just, two Christmas presents rolled up into one?
I heard some people saying, if this has a small part, if Ronaldo's interview has a small part in exposing them, not just to football people, but business people and the casual fan and something like that, then fair play to him and job done. So
I mean, the man's got 500 million followers on Instagram alone. I mean, that's a dent. You know what I'm saying?
That's almost as much as Casey.
I'm close to that.
Yeah. Casey's around 490, I think, right now.
It's important. It's important as Ronaldo, as a celebrity. His wife's got the show on Netflix or whatever. This interview he did, and we're not going to speak anymore about it, but this interview he did with Piers Morgan, this reached even non-football people, right? There was people going, "What? Ronaldo's wilding out. What's going on?"
It really did, though. It really did reach all types of folks.
The shit was on ABC.
Yeah, I mean, so I feel like that. The dirty laundry went way further than I think. The Glazers don't like to be trending like that, right? They don't like, because they're ugly. They don't like their faces out there. They got to know they look like shit.
Well,
they were out there. They were out there this year, though. This past year, they were really out there, because this is the first time the British media really went into the depth of the debt.
I feel like it's the same pasty ass picture of them over and over. I know I can't talk. You see me here, but
Yeah. Well,
pasty motherfuckers.
It got to the point where the Glazers out thing just kind of became like a whack-a-mole for them, where it's like, hey, you pull down one kid's banner, 9 more pop up in its place. Before they could hide from it, right? Like they could fucking, sequester themselves in their posh Florida beachside houses and shit, and the hurricane would never reach their shores. And now it's fucking sweeping over the whole world. And when you have somebody like Ronaldo saying, These Glazers don't give a shit about the club. Who, as an investor, is going to go, I think it's a smart business move to do a partnership with Manchester United, because not only is he Cristiano Ronaldo, in my opinion, the greatest football player of all time, but he's like you said, he's more than a football player. He's a celebrity. I mean, he's on a different level. You know, if you had fucking, you know, Luke Shaw saying the shit after he retires, it'd be one thing. But you have Ronaldo, who is like, 1 in 6 people in America follow the man on some social media.
You don't even have to be a fan. You know, there's people that hate
Yeah.
Ronaldo that follow him.
Yeah. So, you know,
I don't follow anybody I hate.
So
Yeah.
let's pivot there and talk about Ronaldo. And obviously he's accepted the terms that were, you know, he's come out himself and saying, you know, he's thinks it's the best for both parties involved. He loves Manchester United. He loves the fans. What do you guys think? Is this a tarnish on his legacy as a player?
No, I don't. I'm still gonna think he's the best, but like I said last night, I just don't like the way he handled it. I had a lot more respect for him as a GOAT. I mean, he's a G. He's supposed to just be like, deal with it, you know. He act like a petulant child. I just don't like that part, and I don't like the part when you front on Ten Hag, because Ten Hag was legit. He's legit. He's straight up. He wasn't playing games. I just don't like that. I just don't like that part.
It's unfortunate how it all went down.
It's just so sloppy on Ronaldo. But I hope he's got a plan B, because
you think they're still going to be singing his name at Old Trafford, you know, in a year from now, and this is kind of in the past.
Yeah,
I think
like
so.
Pat is saying, you're not only one of the greatest players to, you know, wear the 7th shirt, but, you know, one of the greatest players of all time. And
it's not like us to hold grudges, though. You know, it's just like, you know, we move on. You know, he's still the great, but Garnacho's gonna wear 7 now.
What do you think, Patch?
I mean, I don't think it. I'm torn. Like, a very small part of me feels like it'll tarnish his legacy, just because, like you said, Casey, he kind of acted kind of like a little petulant child about it. But I think ultimately no, because the good far outweighs the bad. You know, as far I think as the fans are concerned. I mean, how many titles did he win us? He saved our ass last season. Yeah, he's not been great this season, but you know, he's also dealt with a little bit, and you know, you know what I mean? The man's 37. I mean, he takes care of himself, of course, but you know,
you should see me at 50.
This is the Premier League, son. This is a different beast than any other league in the world.
Premier League.
Let's throw it this way. Favorite Ronaldo memory?
Oh, it's got to either be for me his 40-yard screamer against Porto. That shit was just like on a rope, top left bins. Fucking absurd. I watch that sometimes when I'm just like home by myself. I just pull out that clip real quick and just watch it a couple times on repeat. Yeah. And then the other one's gotta be, I mean, it's gotta be that free kick against Arsenal.
From about 35 out.
Yeah, and he's got his long
semifinal.
Yeah, and like that's just a fucking absurd angle. And I remember the commentator going, "It's a long way out." Oh, not for him. and
Almunia touched it too. Almunia got a fucking head to it. I mean,
yeah, it was just perfectly placed. I mean, the man on his day is like no other. And you know, we were talking about how sad it is that, you know, his era is coming to an end, and Messi's era is coming to an end, and you know, Lewandowski, and like there's all these players that we grew up kind of watching that are getting there. I mean, it's not the first time obviously dealt with players retiring and stuff, but ultimately Ronaldo's one of the best to ever play the game. And so, you know, he's deserving of a little more respect than most, but I still think he was just kind of I mean, I could see how both fans are on both sides. They hate him now, and other fans are like, he's still the GOAT to me. I'm like kind of 75%. He's still the GOAT to me, but you know, some of his behavior I don't necessarily agree with. But
Sinatra, what about you? What would you say sticks out for you and his career as a Red?
Well, he's not the best number 7 because there's only one best. That's Georgie Best. But you know, Ronaldo. This is how I see it. This is how I see it. If Ronaldo doing this is the domino that gets the ball rolling, and the Glazers are out, and we get a proper owner in, and the team's flying again, like we know it can be, I think we'll have a different view on this in like 5 or 10 years. But I think right now it's still it gives us a bad taste because, like we've talked before in other videos, we've had so many other players in the past that have pulled these little stunts, and you know, not for the good of the team, but you know, for themselves, and we thought we were past that, and you know, we seem to have a good team spirit, and this seemed to go opposite of, you know, the way the team's trending. But you know, Ronaldo's going to do his thing, and you know, he's not the same player he was when he left Manchester. You know, he's had a lot of other influences, a lot of other experiences. But one point that I do want to make, and I know I'm going to get some hate for this from other United fans, but I got to say it. Messi got fucked by Barcelona. Fucked. And he didn't say a bad word about him. And I know it's a totally different situation, but you know, he could have came out and said the same thing, that, you know, Barcelona's run like shit, and, you know, they just throw money all over the place. They couldn't even, you know, find the extra cash to keep me around, and I'm their GOAT. And, you know, but he didn't do that. So for me, you know, Ronaldo's still going to be up there, and he's still going to be talked about. But this for me is definitely a stain on his legacy, just from a professional standpoint, because you don't slag off the manager. And I think English said it before, and I agree with it too. You wait 10 years and you write the book and slag everybody off and piss everybody off. You don't do it in the middle of the season before the World Cup or whatever. But favorite Ronaldo moment, Moscow, baby. Moscow.
Over the bar.
Over the bar. And,
But
and then
yeah,
John Terry slipping, and you know,
Yeah.
he's in tears. You know, that's the Ronaldo.
Oh yeah,
I
that
always
was a
wanna
good
remember.
moment.
That header for the goal.
And you know, whenever you turn on MUTV, they still show that, and it's, you know, it's Brownie, it's Wes Brown that crosses into him for that header, and it's a beautiful cross. And that's the Ronaldo I want to remember, and that's the Ronaldo I'm going to try to choose to remember in the future, because I don't like Real Madrid Ronaldo.
You don't like Real Madrid Ronaldo?
No, especially that, because you want to hear my least favorite Ronaldo moment? When Nady got sent off. When Nady got sent off at the Real Madrid, what was that, round of 16, when they had Mourinho, and we were the better side. We had Van Persie, and we outplayed Real Madrid. Danny Welbeck, with his finest moment as a Red, his headed goal at the Bernabeu. Oh yes.
Is he still playing, right?
Brighton.
he's on Brighton.
Yes. Plays for Brighton. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he's telling all the lads at Brighton, yeah, boys, I did it. I did it on a cold night in fucking Madrid. You know it.
That's cool though. That's the ill thing to say though.
Yeah.
And lastly, we want to talk about the biggest tournament in the world that has got everyone's attention. Obviously, the EFL Cup, Papa John Trophy. You got United 21s doing it big at the Molineux, taking it to PKs, and you know, Charlie McGoals and Kobe Mainu.
Kobe.
With
Kobe.
I think in a few years, you know, it's going to be like Staples Center, and everyone's going to be at Old Trafford like, oh,
Kobe.
Kobe.
Is a
Do we need
baller.
Bellingham? Do we need Bellingham? Like, do we even need him? That's what I was telling. The English texted me earlier. He's like, we've got to get Bellingham. And I'm like, Kobe Maino. Kobe Maino.
Yeah,
Just
so
gotta throw. If you're gonna do it, just give him 150 million. Don't play around. Just get it done.
Yeah, so some of the boys have said, you know, I asked about Kobe Mainu, and they said, oh yeah, he looks good, man. I think he looks better than Pogba. And I'm like, really? He's better than Pogba at that age? They're like, no. He's better than Pogba now.
Now,
Yeah.
now.
So another good right.
How's Ethan Laird doing?
Right back prospect is Mark Guardado, who's playing, and you can see this kid maybe making that jump to first team football as well. And then of course young Charlie McGoals doing what he does best, scoring goals. So
What about Laird?
Did
Yeah.
Ethan get hurt at Queen's Park?
Laird, so I'm about halfway through, but I'm doing a transfer review. So I mean, sorry, a loan review. So some of the players on loan. So Ethan Laird, looking like a beast, enjoying his football. So yeah, but the Papa John's Trophy is the U21s, and United are into the round of 32. So a fun tournament because United fans get to go away to some of these smaller, League One, League Two grounds. If you're into traveling on a Tuesday night, to a standing terrace, which of course you are.
Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, no,
Barrow looked like a fucking good time. That looked like a good time.
It was great, and Garnacho winning it at the death.
That's what he does, man. He's our Argentine. He scores in 30 time.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that'll be great.
Here's my question about the pizza trophy. Are they serving Papa John's at the ground? Like, is a pizza van roll up and they're like, get them hot, baby, let's have it.
Is Shaq's picture on it?
Yeah.
No, Shaq's there. Shaq's Edinburgh. Shaq's like, yeah, I'm here.
Shaq ain't there.
Yeah, that would be nice, but it's sausage rolls and patties. And...
Oh, fucking Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, have it. Luke will be there. Sausage rolls. He's like, I can't get them at Carrington, mate. It can't.
Meat and some pies.
Ten Hog's got me on the vegan. I'm on a vegan diet with a diet Fanta.
He's got to get those black market sausage rolls now. He can't get them over the counter.
Shepherd's pie.
I think the chef is backdooring it for him. The chef is like, dog, meet me in the car park. The same chef that Ronaldo slagged off is meeting Luke Shaw in the car park with a sack full of sausage rolls. Like, I got you, mate. I got you.
Yeah. And some alley in Swinton or something like that. He's
it's in a brown bag, like here.
Yeah.
2 pounds.
I saw a post where they said, Ronaldo said, oh, we had a lot of problems with the chef and, the club. And, when I saw Luke Shaw, he was using the community shield as a I knew there was a problem.
I heard, all right, in United's defense, don't we have like a Michelin rated chef? Like, come on, like, we slagging him off. It's not Salt Bay, but
yeah, there's no way Manchester United has a shitty chef in their kitchen. There's no way.
Listen, if Real Madrid had Salt Bay, that's great. Y'all can have Salt Bay. But listen, I looked at the menu and it's like $65 for some fucking French fries. Like, y'all can have it at Salt Bays.
Yeah,
I never got that, dude.
Yeah. 2.5 minutes left, boys.
Can I ask you a question?
Let's have it.
So if team viewers pulling out, what is it? What's going on?
They're not pulling out.
Let's just go blank. I want to go blank like Forrest. That'd be sick.
I don't think they're pulling out. I think their sponsorship, they are perhaps having second thoughts. And so it's like up for review or something like that.
Do they still make Sharp View Cam? I want Sharp View Cam back on the shirt. Is Sharp still around? Let's have it. Come on, Sharp.
Or Aon or AIG. Any one of those three.
No, I don't want AIG again.
I like the AIG just because of the.
They go bankrupt.
Vodafone. They still make Vodafone. Let's have it, Vodafone. Where are you at, Vodafone?
Yeah. It's come full cycle. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up there. Thanks, boys. Glazers out. We're almost there. Keep keep pushing, don't stop now. Fan power is a big part of it.
It's everything.
So again, we want
Yeah,
to
it
thank
is, and it really is.
those that roll with us. So thanks for subscribing and watching the videos.
Hey, we're getting
tell
close to
friends,
1,000.
share.
We're getting close. So tell your
Yeah.
fucking family members,
Hey,
get on it.
We
Good
appreciate
fucking
all you
family
guys
members.
watching the videos.
Mom!
This is just like started out something fun that you and your homies are doing, and it's been a great ride so far, and we're happy to keep it going. So
Technology.
Yeah, we
And
appreciate you guys, man.
honestly, people are watching for Bandito's outfits because
I'm
he's flexing
telling
on us
you.
worse than Fisher. I thought Fish was the flexer. No.
Oh, Fishes is good, bubbling up. Something's coming.
Wait till he sees all this terrace cult. Wait till you see he's gonna be full kit wanker terrace cult, and it's gonna be Bandito's fault.
Like I was told by some Manx, it's not about labels, it's about style.
Right.
There you go. On that note, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. We're a couple subscribers away from 700. Get us to 700. Have a great Thanksgiving. Glazers fucking out, guys. Ratcliffe in.
And y'all better get down to fucking Moo Mia's. All right.
Oh, I love that place. I'm there. It's like sex in sex and cream.